Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I am back with another feminine hygiene video. I know that I am long overdue for this. It's been about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months since I did the last one, but I am back, and I'm back with some items that I love using on my body, also some tips and tricks, and obviously this is coming from a plus size woman's point of view, things that have worked for me over the years, some new things that maybe I'm trying I haven't tried before, all that kind of stuff. So I do just want to preface this by saying I'm not a medical professional. I'm just somebody on YouTube sharing some stuff that's worked for me. That's it. It's not that deep. You know, y'all don't have to argue about anything in the comments. This is from my perspective, what I like to use on my body. And y'all seem to really find the other one helpful. So I'll make sure that I'll link that video down below. You can check that out and see some items that I used back then versus items that I'm using now. So I will be very graphic in this video. It'll probably be very much a TMI type of video. If that's not your thing, I will catch you at the next one. If you'd like to see what I have going on though, then please stay tuned. Okay, so as far as my facial washing techniques go and the things that I use on my face, I do have a separate video for that as well. I don't wash my face in the shower anymore. I have a whole skincare routine for that. I'll link that down below. But the first thing I do usually when I get in the bathroom is brush my teeth. I like to do that before the shower. If I don't, obviously I can do it after. I like to brush my teeth first though. Right now, I'm using the Colgate Optic White Renewal. Now, I saw this advertised on TV. Those advertisements always get me. It says that it removes 10 years of yellow stains. Honestly, I probably have to be using it for a while to see any change, but to me, it's just like their regular Optic White, but in different packaging and more expensive. So I usually use the regular Optic White by Colgate. Works pretty good on my teeth. It gets them clean. I am sure to brush my teeth for, I think they said you have to say happy birthday, 3 times or something? Saying happy birthday 3 times, I'm not sure. But I make sure that I brush them for a while. I have a Philips Sonicare toothbrush. I will try and link that down below as well. And I'm sure to brush my tongue, make sure I really get in there. And then when I finish with this toothpaste, the mouthwash that I'm currently using is the Listerine Naturals Antiseptic Herbal Mint. So that's the flavor of it, Herbal Mint. What I love about this mouthwash is the fact that it's clear. So you don't have to worry about it staining your teeth or anything like that. I don't have any veneers or crowns on my crowns on my teeth, I should say. But for those of you that do, maybe you should look into getting this mouthwash because it is clear. So it doesn't have any dyes in it. So I love that about it. So this is my combo for my dental needs paired with my Philips Sonicare toothbrush. I also want to point out that every day I am sure to take a probiotic. So the probiotic that I'm taking right now is the VH Essentials Probiotics with Prebiotics and Cranberry. So it's marketed and it says on here that it's for feminine health and that it's a dietary supplement. So I just want to say again, this is the kind of thing you need to do your own research on. Obviously, I went to Walmart and I found this. When did I find this? Maybe a year ago now. And I started taking it and I really liked it. Now, I could definitely do, better research myself and probably find a different brand that's not in Walmart, maybe a fancier brand, but I'm the kind of person that if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it's working for me, then I'm going to keep using it. So this is what I have. And I said all that to say that I'm just encouraging you yourself to go in there and start taking a probiotic. It's very important as women that we take a probiotic, especially one with cranberry in it, because that'll help you decrease your chances of getting UTIs. So I take a probiotic. You can also eat yogurt. Be careful with yogurt though. They always say to try not to eat the really sweet yogurts if you're using it as a probiotic. And then also if you have like a yeast infection or anything like that, you want to stay away from sweet things as well because yeast feeds on sweet things. So keep that in mind. If you have something going on, obviously go to the doctor. But if you do have it going on, then you need to stay away from sweet stuff like sweet yogurts. Y'all know what I'm saying. But when I get in the actual shower, I make sure that my water is not too hot. I'm somebody that used to have the water extremely hot. And I've learned my lesson over the years and I've kind of scaled back because that extremely hot water paired with different soaps that I started using has really, or did really dry my skin out. And I don't want to do that anymore. You want to be gentle on your skin. So you can have it warm, just don't have it scalding hot. It's not good for you. So I make sure it is warm to the right temperature for my body. And then I go in with a white washcloth. I prefer to use those because nothing will humble you more than a white washcloth, if you know what I'm saying. It will let you know that, hey, you need to clean that area of your body again. And that's just being real as possible with y'all. That's why I like using white washcloths. That paired with there's not as many dyes in it, or no dyes really, I would think, with it being white. And it's just easier. You can go to Walmart and get a 4-pack of white washcloths for about $2. You can get even an 18-pack probably, but they're thinner, for $2 as well. So you have all these resources to get multiple washcloths. You know, if you have a washer and dryer in your home, you can use one washcloth every time you bathe. That's essentially what I like to do. I'm not reusing washcloths. I wasn't raised like that. You use a washcloth one time when you bathe, and then you put it in your dirty clothes. That's what I like to do. That's how my mama raised me, and that's what works for me. Washcloths are super cheap. You know, we spend money on so many other frivolous things that we can spend money and invest in ourselves and buy washcloths on a regular basis. I think so, at least. So I first wash with Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. Now, I prefer the unscented or the almond scent. Those work really well for me. I love Dr. Bronner's as a brand. So don't take anything I'm about to say to heart. But I don't like the peppermint. I bought this one because this is the scent that everybody raves about. You know, when I first heard about Dr. Bronner's, I heard about this scent, but I didn't pick it up right away because I wanted to try something different. You know, I just wanted to be different. Anyway, I finally said, hey, I'm going to try the peppermint and see what the hype is about. And I don't like it. It gives you like a very minty feeling, like it's a very cool feeling. And I'm somebody that's cold all the time. So when I get in the shower and I put this on and it instantly gives your body that cool feeling, I don't really like it. So I obviously am having a hard time getting through this. I'm actually going to go and pick up some of the unscented for myself here in a couple of days and just use that. And I'll try and use this for other things because obviously it has so much, you know, written on the bottle right here. And again, this is Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. It's so much written on there because it has so many uses. You can use this to clean your floors, wash your hair if you want to. You can use it as a multi-purpose cleaner. It just has a lot of uses. So I'm going to try and implement this with other things in my life, but I'm not going to use this particular scent for my body anymore. But I do usually like to go in with Dr. Bronner's first on my body, just the once over. I start at my neck area. I'm, you know, being sure to scrub my neck area very good. I then move and I wash my breast, making sure that I lift them up and, you know, really wash and scrub underneath. Don't be too harsh, obviously, because you know, if you have larger breasts, the skin under your breasts tend to be very sensitive. So, you know, I'm washing gently under my breast, making sure to get my arms, under my arms very well. My elbows, I always make sure to wash your elbows really good. And then I move towards my stomach area, being sure to clean the inside of my belly button and also lifting my stomach up. And if you do have, you know, obviously plus size women, if you have multiple rolls, you need to get in there in those crevices and make sure that you're cleaning really well. The way my body is built, I don't necessarily have multiple rolls. My stomach just hangs a little bit. So I just lift up my stomach and I'm sure to wash very good underneath my stomach. I'm sure to get my back rolls. And when I go once over with this, I don't wash my vaginal area with this at all. I don't wash my buttocks with this at all either. Especially not the peppermint because, oh, if that peppermint gets to your backside, it is a weird feeling, I'll say that. I mean, it literally will have you feeling like a peppermint patty. It's just like such a cool feeling. And I really didn't prefer it, but some of y'all may like it and that's fine. So, you know, after I wash my stomach area, like I said, I don't wash my vaginal area with this at all, especially the first time using that washcloth. I don't wash my vaginal area right away. So I'm moving down to my thighs, being sure to scrub the areas, you know, between or under my thighs, the back of your knee, especially that area. Like if you are larger and you have like fat around your knee, you need to wash it really good. Moving down to my legs, making sure to scrub them very well. I stop at my ankles and I'll tell y'all what I do with my feet at the end of this. So after I go once over with this, I then move to my Dove sensitive skin. Now, this is something that I know all of my friends use, or people that I'm close to. Majority of them use this. A lot of us have been using it for years and years and years. I grew up using Dove on my body back to when my mother was giving me baths. She used Dove on my body. So a lot of people use this. It works very well. I use the Unscented or the sensitive skin right now, and I use it in like this shower gel type of form. Obviously, you can get it in bar soap. I love the bar soap as well, but this is what I'm currently using. What I will say about this though is that if you'll see on the bottle, it says new. They have changed the formula in this, and something's a little off. If you know what I'm talking about, comment down below. I can't put my finger on it, but something is off with this new formula. So I don't want to have to leave Dove, you know, 9 times out of 10 that won't happen. I'll have to make adjustments, but I don't really like it. Something's off about it. I'm still using it right now. Again, I follow that same path that I did with the Dr. Bronners, starting at my neck, working around my breast, under my stomach, making sure to get my arms, under my arms, my thighs, my knees, calves, legs, all that good stuff. So after that, I move on to my vaginal area. So at this time, I am, you know, rinsing out my washcloth really good. Keep in mind, I'm using that white washcloth, and I've washed, you know, the rest of my body already. I'm wringing out that washcloth really good. And I then want to go in with my Honey Pot. I love the Honey Pot as a brand. I talked about them in my last feminine hygiene video. I've been using the Honey Pot probably about a year or so as well. I first purchased it at Target. It is the Sensitive Foaming Wash. It's plant-based feminine care, 100% natural. It contains colloidal silver, COLLOIDAL. It's cruelty-free and sulfate-free, and it says gynecologists love it. So this one in particular is good for daily use. It does have that marketed on the actual packaging, and I do use this daily and twice a day because I do take 2 showers a day. It is foaming, so it does have this particular end on it that helps the solution in here foam for you. You know, it says to shake it up a couple times, so you shake it up a couple times. Make sure your washcloth is wet. Rule of thumb for me is about 3 squirts really does it. I rub the washcloth in a little bit, and then I'm sure to wash my vaginal area. So obviously with the vaginal area, you know that you have your vagina. That is the actual canal that you put a tampon in, or that a child may come out of. So that actual canal, I'm sure not to put soap inside of that because I can throw off my pH balance. And you could too. So I would advise maybe not to put soap directly in there. Now the vulva as a whole, meaning your mons pubis, which is the fatty area on top that covers your pubic bone, you know, where the pubic hair grows. You definitely need to wash that thoroughly, obviously. You need to wash your outer labia lips and your inner labia lips. Making sure to maybe open it up a little bit and get a little bit of the product in there. Not too much because some may slip down into your vaginal area, your actual canal. So you need to be mindful when you're washing yourself, obviously. I don't have to tell all of y'all some of this stuff, but some people, you know, may not be aware. Especially if you're a young girl and you're watching this video and you want to know how to properly clean yourself. You may not be aware of these things. In the previous video, I put up a diagram of a vagina, and the platform that we're on didn't really appreciate that. So I'm not going to do this time, but I will say it's very important that if you don't necessarily know your anatomy completely, which, I mean, if you're a young person, you may not completely know everything. You're learning yourself, and that's fine. Be sure to Google it and learn yourself. You're making sure to wash the mons pubis, the fatty area on top. You're making sure to wash your outer labia lips, and then to open up a little bit and wash your inner labia lips. Again, don't use too much of this product on the inside because it will irritate you. Don't put any of this in your vaginal canal. Do not do that. Making sure to flush it out with water really good. A handheld shower head honestly is the best way to go. I honestly don't even know what I did before a handheld shower head. Like, I feel like, honestly, how could I really clean myself really good without one before? I remember a time before then, but I couldn't have been getting that clean. I'll be honest with you, because I feel really clean now. And then, you know, after you've washed your overall vulva, you need to make sure, if you are a larger person, the area in between our thigh meat And then our actual vulva, you need to get in that crevice and make sure you're washing those crevices really good, because you can have some, you know, sweat buildup, possibly dirt buildup. If you're cleaning yourself on a regular basis, you won't have any dirt, but you really need to get in there and clean the area thoroughly. After you clean it thoroughly, take that removable shower head and you just want to rinse everything off thoroughly. Open up your lips and rinse out as well. You may even want to take some water and rinse into your actual vaginal canal. Water in there is just fine, so you can put that in there, and not too much again, and not hot water. A little bit of water into your vaginal canal is fine. And then honestly, I use some of this on my buttocks as well. You can easily go in with that washcloth after wringing it out again, and you can use some Dove or some Dr. Bronner's if you want to. I just go back in and I'll wash my backside with this as well. Sure to spread my butt cheeks open and to really get in there. If you need to put a leg up on the shower, you can. Or if you need to just kind of do a squatting motion, for me, it's just easier to just squat. I don't need to put a leg up and do all this stuff. You can just kind of take one hand even and kind of reach back there and spread it open, and with the other hand with your washcloth, just kind of go in there and really get in there and clean the actual buttocks and the, you know, the inner cheeks of your butt, and then really get your actual anus area and really clean that thoroughly as well. You need to also make sure you're cleaning your outer butt cheeks all together too, and being sure to pay attention to under the butt cheeks especially. Make sure you clean under them as well. It really just depends on how you're shaped. All of this is only relative. You have to do it based on how you're shaped, if y'all know what I'm saying. So make sure you wash under there really, really good. After that, you wring out the washcloth really good again. And the last thing that I wash, the very last thing, is my feet. I always make sure my feet are the last thing that I wash, just because I don't want any, like, I guess, cross-contamination, if you will. So I go in there and I scrub my feet really good, usually just with the Dr. Bronner's. I find that that's probably the best thing to clean my feet, because I know that they're really getting clean because of the different things that Dr. Bronner's has in it. And then after that, I get out of the shower and I dry up. Now, when it comes to shaving, obviously, I'm not shaving every day. I'm probably shaving once or twice a week. It really just depends how fast the hair is growing back for me. When I shave, I am making sure that I exfoliate beforehand. So usually, I will do all of my shaving routine, I'll do after the first round of Dr. Bronner's on my body, because I don't like to shave any area of my body without cleaning it once over first. I think it's just a little bit safer and a lot cleaner to do that, because if you shave, if you happen to cut yourself, you don't want any bacteria to go in there. So, you know, clean yourself once over first, really quick, before you get into your shaving. So I like to exfoliate first. That helps with softening the hair, and then also exfoliate after you shave. It'll prevent any ingrown hairs. So right now I'm using the the Tree Hut Tahitian Vanilla Bean Shea Sugar Scrub. I love this stuff, y'all. I love this brand, the Tree Hut brand. I believe you can get it at Target and Walmart. I probably got this at Walmart, honestly, but I love this stuff. It is a sugar scrub, so you need to be careful not to use this too often throughout the week. You don't want to damage your skin or anything, because it can be a little coarse. And you want to put it on there a little dry at first. Not too dry, honestly. I usually wet my hand a little bit before I rub it in. And I use this on my underarms and my bikini area. Obviously, don't let it slide down into your vaginal area, because it is scented. It may cause some irritation. So I like using that to exfoliate. And right now, I am using a shaving cream. In the previous video, I mentioned using hair conditioner to shave with as well, which I think is a great hack. But right now, I found something that's really working for me, which is this Pure Silk Shave Cream, and it's in dry skin. So I love this stuff. It keeps my skin really moisturized, and it works out great. So I use this obviously on my bikini, vaginal area, and under my arms. For my legs, I use Veet. I think that works really good for my leg hair, because I don't really have much. And as far as what I shave with, right now I'm using the Bic Soleil. I think that's how you pronounce it. Soleil. Sensitive. It has 3 blades on it. Usually I'm a Chic kind of girl. I think that's the name of the brand. But they didn't have that when I went in there. So I'm using the Bic. And y'all, I still got 2 in the pack. I have 1 in the shower right now. This right here, first of all, I love it. It gives you such a clean shave. It really does. Even with 3 blades, I know people, they like to use like 4, 5, and 6 blades. For my skin, that's too much, and I don't want to, you know, cut myself or even cause ingrown hairs because of too many blades. I don't know if that's possible, but I feel like for me that would happen. So I stick to just 3 blades. And I will link everything down below for y'all to check it out if you want to. But this is what I use to remove hair. And on the topic of removing hair, obviously, that's based on you. You know, I can't get on the internet and say, no, you need to remove your hair because that's unhygienic. Who am I to say, you know, what's unhygienic and what is? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're washing your body, you know, with some, you don't have to use all these products. If you're using a basic soap, you're washing your body and you are washing your vaginal area, who am I to say that you're unhygienic just because you have pubic hair? It is a personal preference. And for me, I remove the hair because that's just what I like to do. Some people use waxing. Since the last video, no, I have not went and gotten a wax. I'm still terrified. Maybe I'll get over that this year. I don't know. But for right now, I'm still shaving. It works for me. My skin is smooth. And that's just what I like to do. I like to remove the hair. I've been doing it for years. Literally since probably puberty. Since I first started growing hair, I've been removing the hair because that's just what I like. That's what I feel comfortable doing. So yeah, that's enough on the hair thing because people get a little, you know, offended when you start talking about removing pubic hair or keeping it, whatever the case is. So when I get out of the shower, obviously I need to get fresh. I need to moisturize my body. So as far as my deodorant right now, I'm using the Arm & Hammer Essentials. It is free of aluminum, parabens, and phthalates. And this is in the scent Fresh Rosemary Lavender. I love this scent. I actually got this from the Dollar Tree. So I'm loving this right now, y'all. I'm sorry if my light is a little too bright. I don't have any natural light in this room. This was only $1. It works great. I love aluminum-free deodorants. I'm on that kick now, and I don't see myself ever going back. I also love the Dove 0% aluminum. That works really good as well. I'll probably go back to that, honestly, because in the Dove you get more than versus what you get in here. So I always put that on right after the shower. And then as far as my thighs rubbing together, because I am larger, I do have that as an issue going on. So I like to use this Monistat Complete Care Chafing Relief Powder Gel. Now this, you know, don't get confused by the Monistat label. It's not anything to help with any kind of infections or anything like that. This is the Chafing Relief Gel. So you put this on areas that may chafe, or layman's terms meaning they rub together. So any area that you may have friction, it doesn't have to just be your thighs. If you have like, you know, back fat or back rolls, then you want to use this there as well. And speaking of that, I didn't talk about back washing. So I do wash my back in the shower, obviously. I have one of those extended handle loofah type of brushes that I use in the shower. I use my my Dove actually to wash my back because it's just easier to put a little bit of that on there. And obviously it's a loofah end, so put some water on it, it suds up, and it's just easier to wash your back with that soap with that consistency. So I use the extended handle to make sure that I get in there and really wash my back. Obviously get under my little back rolls that I have as well. So after I have taken care of my thighs, I have put on my deodorant under my arms, I then go in and I want to make sure that my belly button is taken care of. So obviously I've already, you know, pat dried my entire body, but with me being larger, I do have an innie belly button and it is kind of deep. So sometimes, you know, it may still be wet in there. So even if I, you know, take a towel and I kind of reach in there a little bit, I want to make sure it's completely dry, because if you do have somewhat of a tight area and if it's wet in there for too long, that did not sound right, but y'all know what I'm saying. If it's wet in there for too long, then bacteria can build up and it may cause an odor. We don't want that. So another hack or another solution is to have, if you have a fan in your bedroom like we have, I stand in front of that fan sometimes and I kind of just hold my belly up so it can dry out. or I sprinkle a little bit of powder in there. This is talc-free. That's very important. A talc-free after shower deodorant powder by Perfect Purity. This is in the Dollar Tree. It is in the regular scent. I need to get a little bit more of this. It's only $1, and I sprinkle a little bit of this in my belly button just to make sure it is dry in there, because you don't want any kind of bacteria, because you can get yeast in those areas as well, and you don't want that. So I put a little bit of this in my belly button. I've been doing it for a long time, a very long time. Hasn't given me any issues. Just to be mindful and make sure it doesn't get on your clothes. I usually do this at nighttime. In the daytime, I do the fan trick as best as I can, because I'm wearing dress pants. I don't want powder to get on my dress pants. So next, we want to make sure that we're moisturized. So what I like to do as far as moisturizing my body, I do wear lotion and I wear moisturizing cream. So the lotion that I'm currently loving is the Dr. Teal's body lotion. It is in the scent chamomile. And this has essential oil with jojoba oil, coconut butter, shea butter, vitamin E, and it is for sensitive skin. It is paraben and phthalate free. Probably not saying that word right, but I love the Dr. Teal's brand. I thought the eucalyptus mint was my favorite scent, but this one is my new favorite, the chamomile. So I really love that. It is somewhat lightweight to me, pretty lightweight, and it rubs in very good. That's very important. You don't want to sit there and be rubbing in lotion for about 10 minutes. That's annoying. You probably got places to be. So I like the Dr. Teal's. And something that I've really been loving lately here is the Eucerin brand. Now, I will say this one has SPF in it, which is sunscreen. It'll be good for when it gets really sunny, when it's the summertime, you're wearing your legs out. If you have any type of scarring or hyperpigmentation on your legs, this will be perfect to use, because you don't want that hyperpigmentation to get darker. So I would recommend that for this, but I would say, if you're just looking for something to put on your body at nighttime to moisturize yourself, then just get the regular lotion. It works pretty good. It's not too awfully thick, honestly. It works pretty good. It's got that I forget what you call this cap on there, but it's easy to get out. So I like the Eucerin brand as well. I particularly like it because it is fragrance free, dye free, paraben free. It doesn't have any of that crazy stuff in there. And then if you have sensitive skin, I think this would be great for you, because it doesn't have anything like that in there. The next thing I have actually is this CeraVe moisturizing cream. It's for normal to dry skin. This one is in a rich texture, so it is a cream. It is a little bit thicker. I like to use this on my elbows. I like to keep my elbows nice and moisturized. I know somebody commented and said that I had some pretty elbows. I appreciate that. But I just try my best to keep them clean. I exfoliate my elbows as well. When I do my shaving routine, I put some of that sugar scrub on my elbows as well, just to kill some of that dead skin so it's not looking rough. And I make sure that I always put some lotion or some of this cream on my elbows as well. So that's the CeraVe moisturizing cream. This is TMI, but I also put a little bit of this on my areolas. Obviously, I'm using the Dr. Bronner's. It tends to dry your skin out just a little bit for me. So that includes every area of my body. So I put this around my areola. If you're not sure what an areola is, I'm sure you do know what it is. But it's the skin around your actual nipple. So I like to be soft everywhere. I'm an adult. I do adult things, and I like to make sure my body is soft everywhere. So I tend to put a little bit of this around my areola area. Last but not least, this is really just an honorable mention. It's not a part of my specified hygiene routine, something I do every day. This is for, when I'm using the bathroom. So this is something that if I have a bowel movement, obviously, I go in and I use wipes. So I use regular toilet tissue, but I also like to use wipes, especially when I'm away from my home. I know I can't take a shower right away and get really, really clean like I like. So I need to make sure that I can clean up as best as I can. Super, super clean, and I won't be uncomfortable. So I use some of the Cottonelle flushable wipes. I really love these. I've been using them for years, and they really do get the job done. They are flushable. The reason they are flushable though is because you need to use one at a time. If you wad up about 4 or 5 of them and then you wipe and then you try to flush them, then obviously you're going to stop up your toilet. But if you use them as directed, then you won't have any issues, or at least we haven't. I think that about covers everything. I know in the last video I left out a lot of stuff. I did just want to mention that this routine is really just a nightly routine. My morning routine, I'm just using Dove and Honey Pot. That's it for the morning routine. I'm not using the Bronners. I'm not shaving. I'm not doing any of that. For my morning shower, lately I've been back in the gym. So after I come from the gym, I then need to take a quick shower so I can go to work. I don't have time to do all that stuff that I just mentioned. So I'm just with these two right here. I'm doing a once over with the Dove on all of my other body parts. And I'm using this on my vaginal area and my buttocks. And then I'm using this on my feet, obviously, as well. That's it. I don't have time to do exfoliating, shaving, none of that. I don't have time for it. So this is in the morning time and everything else is at nighttime. As far as exfoliating as well, you can use exfoliating gloves, or you can also use an exfoliating washcloth. They sell those things at Walmart, Target. I've just recently got into the exfoliating washcloths myself. Usually I'm just a glove kind of girl because I just like putting on the glove and it's just easier to maneuver around your body. But the washcloth works great as well. What's something else I could mention here? As far as period care, I follow the same routine, honestly. I may spend way more time washing if I'm a little insecure about it, but I mean, it's really the same deal. I don't really need to do too much more or anything less than what I'm already doing, I feel like. And as far as what I use for, you know, my feminine sanitization, whatever you call it, I use pads. That's what I use. I'm not comfortable using tampons. I've tried it before a handful of times and it just is really uncomfortable for me. So I use pads and there's nothing wrong with that. Be sure to always wear cotton panties. It's very important. If you like the cute little panties and they're satin, that stuff is, you know, it's cute to wear, it's sexy, all that kind of stuff, but it's not meant to wear long term throughout the day, I don't believe. So stick to breathable cotton panties is a rule of thumb. Make sure you are changing your panties. Don't go 2 days in a row wearing the same panties. I do not recommend that. I change my panties every time I take a shower. So if I'm taking a shower twice a day, then I'm wearing 2 pairs of panties that day. And it is what it is. Usually at nighttime, though, I have to take that back. Because at nighttime, I am 9 times out of 10 not wearing any panties. I usually just sleep with, you know, a nightgown, a big t-shirt, and no panties. Because it is good to let air get there, you know. What else can I tell y'all? Because I had this all planned out in my head, but sometimes when you get to talking about stuff and you start elaborating, then you start to forget things as well. But I think that's everything. The main thing is don't get soap in your actual vaginal canal. That's the biggest thing. Like I said, you don't have to use any of the products that I use. If what you use works, that's great. Just don't put soap in your vaginal canal. Don't do it. You will regret it. You'll be in the doctor's office crying. Probably not crying, but you'll be in there upset and irritated and itching and whatever else. And you don't want that. I don't want that for you. So with all that being said, I hope that you got something out of this video. You know, I know some people say, well, who needs a video on how to do that? Well, some people just want to know what products to use, or they may not have a mother figure or a sister figure, whatever, in their life, and they may not know how to properly wash. That's a real thing. I've grown up with some young ladies like that. They didn't have that in their life and they just didn't know. And if you don't know, that's fine, because there are tools and resources out there for you to know. So all that being said, I talk too much. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again in my next video. Bye.